The morning I lost myself began like any other, 6:17 a.m., the grandfather clock downstairs chiming its familiar tune, my wife's soft breathing beside me in the pre-dawn darkness. I had no way of knowing that in 3 minutes, my life would fracture beyond repair. The house felt different when I stepped into the hallway. Not wrong, exactly. Just denser. As if the air itself had thickened overnight, pregnant with possibility and dread. That's when I saw it. A door. Plain white. Brass handle worn smooth by countless hands that had never existed. It stood where my linen closet should have been, but the linen closet was gone. Not moved, not demolished, simply erased, as if it had never drawn breath in this world. The door fit so perfectly into the space that for one terrifying moment, I wondered if I was the anomaly. If I was the thing that didn't belong. The handle was so cold it burned. "Sarah," I whispered, shaking my wife's shoulder. "There's a door." She turned to me with eyes still heavy with sleep, but her smile was too quick, too knowing. "Of course there is, honey. There's always been a door. Always." The word echoed in the hollow spaces of my skull. My 5-year-old son, Tommy, appeared in our doorway like a specter, his small face solemn beyond his years. "Daddy's confused again," he said to Sarah, but his eyes never left mine. "The door's been waiting for you to notice." Waiting. My hands trembled as I reached for the handle again. The metal seemed to pulse beneath my palm, a heartbeat, slow and deliberate, counting down to something I couldn't name. I turned it. The hallway beyond was a mirror of my own, but mirrors lie. Everything was exactly as it should be. The family photos arranged in their proper sequence, the hardwood floors bearing the same familiar scuffs, even the small dent in the wall where Tommy had thrown his toy truck last summer. But perfection itself was the wrongness. No dust motes danced in the filtered light. No imperfections marred the paint. It was my life, sanitized and stripped of its beautiful flaws. The air tasted of copper and forgotten dreams. I found Sarah in the kitchen, humming. The melody was hauntingly beautiful, ancient in a way that made my teeth ache. She stirred an empty coffee cup with mechanical precision, the spoon scraping against porcelain in a rhythm that matched my racing heartbeat. "You're home," she said without turning around. When she finally faced me, her smile stretched too wide, revealing rows of teeth that went back too far, like a shark's maw disguised as human affection. I ran. When I stumbled back through the door, gasping and wild-eyed, 3 hours had vanished from the world. My phone showed 9:17 a.m., but my body insisted only minutes had passed. That night, I dreamed of the other Sarah. She stood at the foot of our bed, that terrible smile never wavering, whispering secrets in a language I didn't recognize but somehow understood. He's seen us now. He can never unsee. I woke to find the real Sarah watching me with eyes full of concern and something else, something that looked disturbingly like hunger. The door began to leak. Not water or gas, but wrongness. A contamination that seeped into the corners of my reality like ink spreading through water. My reflection in the bathroom mirror started lagging behind my movements. Just a fraction of a second, but enough to send ice through my veins. Tommy began humming Sarah's impossible melody. Then Sarah joined him. The harmony was perfect, practiced, as if they'd been singing together for years in a world where I didn't exist. Late one night, I caught my reflection moving independently, mouthing words I couldn't hear. When I pressed my palm against the glass, it pressed back from the other side, but the hand that met mine had too many fingers. My phone began receiving texts from numbers that didn't exist. "The woman in red isn't who you think. You left something behind when you ran. It's wearing your face now." The next evening, Sarah came to bed draped in crimson silk I'd never seen before. Her smile in the lamplight cast shadows that moved wrong, independent of her face. "I've been waiting for you to come home," she whispered, and when she spoke, I could see too many teeth, rows upon rows, spiraling back into darkness. I spent that night in the living room, staring at the door, which now stood slightly ajar. Through the crack, I could see myself sleeping peacefully in the other bed, while the other Sarah watched him with eyes that reflected no light. I found Tommy in 2 places at once. The first was in his bed, sheets pulled up to his chin, breathing deep and even in natural sleep. The second sat at the kitchen table at 3 a.m., eyes reflecting the moonlight like an animal's. "You shouldn't have looked," he said in a voice too old for his small body. Now we can see you too." When I blinked, he was gone. When I looked again, he was standing behind me, small hand ice cold against my back. "Daddy," he whispered, "which one of us is real?" I couldn't answer because I no longer knew. Desperation breeds desperate measures. I soaked the door, the frame, the entire hallway in gasoline, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold the can. The fumes made me dizzy, or maybe it was the knowledge of what I was about to destroy, or attempt to destroy. The match fell from my fingers like a dying star. The flames climbed hungrily, and I heard them screaming, Sarah and Tommy, and versions of myself I didn't recognize. But their screams weren't human. They were the sound of reality tearing, of universes colliding, of doors slamming shut forever. The fire revealed them as they truly were, writhing shadows wearing familiar faces, entities of pure hunger that had been feeding on my life, my memories, my existence, growing stronger with each moment I'd spent in their realm. As consciousness fled, I heard my own voice, distorted and layered like a chorus of the damned. "You were never supposed to leave. Now you'll never be able to." I woke to pristine hallways and the scent of coffee brewing downstairs. The door was gone. The hallway was exactly as it should be. Normal. Perfect. Too perfect. In the bathroom mirror, I saw Sarah standing behind me, but her reflection was wrong. Her face twisted in terror, hands pressed against the glass from the inside, mouth open in a silent scream that would never reach my ears. I watched myself smile at her panic. I felt my lips move, but I hadn't chosen to move them. And I understood with crystal clarity that cut through my soul like broken glass. I never made it back. The man looking out through my eyes isn't me. He's the thing that came through the door, wearing my face, living my life, loving my family with a hunger that will never be satisfied. I'm the one trapped now, screaming soundlessly behind the mirror, watching him pretend to be human while he learns the intricate patterns of being me. So when you find a door that wasn't there yesterday, when the impossible becomes mundane and everyone insists it's always been that way, remember this. Don't open it, because the thing that comes back won't just wear your face. It will perfect it in ways you never could, and you'll spend eternity watching it live your life better than you ever did, while you become nothing more than a reflection, a ghost in your own mirror, forever.